20 things most people don't know about the S&P 500. 1. It's made up of 503 shares because some companies like Google has multiple share classes. 2. A company can't just be in it. A committee chooses who gets in and who gets booted out based on profitability, company size, and it's not automatic. 3. It's not equally weighted. The top 10 companies make up 35% of the entire index. 4. It has survived and came back stronger after every disaster. COVID-19, World War, pandemic crisis, and all of it. 5. The average annual return is 10%, but it has surpassed that over the past years, yielding 15% almost every single year. 6. Dividends make up 30% of its total historical return. This is the more reason to reinvest your dividend. 7. Most of the gains come from a tiny number of days. If you missed the 10 best days over the past 20 years, then your returns were cut in half. 8. It beats the majority of professional fund managers. 90% of actively managed funds has underperformed the S&P 500 over 10-year period. 9. The S&P 500 rebalances itself. It removes the weak companies and gets the stronger companies added. It's a self-cleaning machine, that's why it keeps going up over time. 10. The companies inside it are almost entirely different from the companies inside it 30 years ago. 30 years ago, the S&P 500 was dominated by oil industries, but now it's more of tech-heavy industries. 11. It only tracks US large-cap companies. It doesn't cover low caps, mid caps, or international markets. 12. The people who kept buying it through 2008, 2009, and 2020 saw the best returns of their investing lives. 13. It's used by investors as a benchmark to gauge how the US stock market is doing. 14. It wasn't always the benchmark of choice. The Dow Jones was king for most of the 20th century. 15. You can own it for almost zero cost. Funds like VU charge 0.03%. You are paying less than $1 a year per $1,000 invested. 30 years ago, that asset would have cost you 1 to 2% annually, plus commissions. 16. It contains companies that make your everyday life run. Phones, Apple, streaming, Netflix, groceries, Costco, and all that. 17. The S&P 500 has been positive roughly 73% of all calendar years. Almost 3 out of every 4 years, it goes up. 18. $10,000 invested in S&P 500 in 1980 would be over $1 million today, with dividends reinvested and zero additional contributions. 19. The S&P 500 has never lost money over any rolling 20-year period in history. 20. More than half of S&P 500 best days happen during bear markets. The biggest win days don't come when everything is calm. They come right in the middle of chaos. The best days and the worst days are neighbors. Follow for more investing tips if you really want to take your investing journey seriously.